I left my tripod at work, so I had to rig up this right here. This is probably the most sketchy, janky, whatever you want to call it, setup this camera has been on. Probably not the sketchiest it will ever be on, but anyway. So let's talk about this camera that I'm filming this on. This is the Canon C70. I have had this camera for a little over probably like 3 weeks now. Just want to go over a few thoughts that I have on it. Nothing too technical or too lengthy. I'm not a super technical person to begin with, and there's plenty of videos out there explaining all the wonderful features this camera has. I just wanted to make a review more on like the practical side of someone that's just really wanting great video out of this camera. That I'm not taking this on big expensive like Hollywood sets or anything like that. I'll be doing a lot of run and gun documentary work with this camera. And so with that in mind, that's just kind of the angle I'm putting this on, coming at this with, and I have a couple thoughts. And so this is my first time ever picking up, holding, using, let alone purchasing a dedicated cinema camera. In the past I've been using Sony's, Fujifilms. I had a Nikon for a while. I picked up a couple Canons here and there. So not much experience with A, Canons, B, cinema cameras to begin with. And I just have to say this has been a really welcoming and relatively easy learning curve just to pick this thing up and start shooting with it, to start understanding what it's like to shoot with this kind of a camera. It's a pretty approachable menu system, and really makes me want to pick it up and shoot fun stuff with it, which is at the end of the day my most important need and want from a camera, is the fact that I want to use it. That's the only way that cameras are useful, is if you use them, right? So for anyone that's ever not used a cinema camera like myself, this camera will be very approachable, very easy to use. It'll feel very familiar in your hand. You know, like this is my Fujifilm camera. I mean, it kind of holds kind of the same in the hand as the cinema, the C70. Of course, this is a little bit bigger, but it fits nice in the hand. You can pretty much fit it in most backpacks I already have. I didn't have to go out and buy a huge crazy backpack for it, which is super nice. So it's a practical fit for the ecosystem of tools that I already have. So one of the things I was really excited about with this camera was the fact that I had built-in ND filters. That was actually like a buying point for me. Like one of the things where I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. With that being said, this camera, I am so excited to take this on really fun trips, and with varying light conditions and weather and all that fun stuff, because all you need to do is press a button and you got an ND filter right there, and it's just super fun to be able to go in between light situations and not even have to worry about screening anything on, let alone dust getting in there or breaking stuff or losing the ND filter, because that's always just a pain in the butt, or it getting bumped. It's just, you know, 2 buttons, you know, less, more, call it good. One of the things that this camera has been very graceful with, and that I've kind of had to learn with it, is how to expose with it. I think every camera has its own way of exposing the log footage, and there's always just a few little tips and tricks that you pick up. And so after watching a couple videos, I learned to bring your exposure just a hair down, and so it works out beautifully because this has really clean shadows. Because of the DJI sensor that it has. I mean, hopefully the shot is exposed correctly, because that'd be a little bit awkward. Another great thing about this camera is the audio interface. I love the audio that's coming out of this camera right now. I just have it on a shotgun mic, so you're gonna get a lot of room noise anyway. This is a pretty echoey room, but all the audio that I've pulled out of this camera has just been phenomenal. I haven't used the built-in mics, and I'm not really interested in using the built-in mic, but every time I've plugged in up to a mic or a wireless pack, it's been fantastic and really clean audio. Has a great interface built in, great preamps. It sounds super crisp, and you can tell it was built for video. So the last thing I want to touch on is the video quality itself. The C-Log 2 specifically, the log footage from this camera is an absolute dream to work with. It's really easy to grade, very flexible. The dynamic range is fantastic, and it's not a monster to work with in Final Cut Pro or just grading it in general. It's very pleasing to work with, and just a really soft, nice, almost film-like feel to it, but not quite. You still definitely know it's digital. It's just so much fun to work with, and it's been really easy to pick up, especially after learning about the false color graphs that they have on here, and a couple other scopes that are on here. It makes it really easy to expose with this camera, and it is fantastic. If you're looking to step up your video game and get into a cinema camera, this would be a fantastic choice. I love it a lot. Canon did a great job with it. So anyway, hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.